time, first thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. And the second thing is we need to say a big thank you to the Wayside Chapel Community Church for allowing us to be here. This is a good facility. And there's good lighting, I think, outside when you leave. You know, we just lucked out. Thank you, Janet and Ray, for pretty much ready. If you need the bathrooms, they are through this door. The ladies is the furthest away. You have to go all the way past the doors that go outside from the chapel. Just keep going down the hall. The gentlemen have a little bit of a shorter walk. Oh, is it reversed? Oh, I thought the guys were closer. Okay. Christmas dinner is our next discussion. We had tried to look around, but Siobhan has reached out to the greenhouse. They did such a wonderful job for us 2 years ago. And so, again, they will have us. It'll be December the 9th. Of course, the sales tax in Lancaster has gone up. And so the price is going to be $25. It will not quite cover everything with the gratuity, but the club will pick up the rest. So if you want to pay Kelly, where are you? Kelly's right there. Kelly, our treasurer, give her $25 tonight. And we do need advanced payment. Siobhan, what do you think the deadline is for payment?
The Friday before, so. The second.
Okay, so we need the money by the 2nd. You can mail it or track one of us down.
And that's their really nice dinner that has the turkey, the ham, the cranberries, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing. It's a true traditional Christmas dinner if you've missed one of the other ones in the past.
Lots of food.
And a dessert tray, yeah.
I think we'll also try to have a raffle. I did apply for and was granted a raffle permit. And so I'm going to be looking for some things that we might raffle, and we can sell tickets. And if anyone has any ideas on things that we can raffle, I am certainly open to suggestions. Also, I want to tell you that we finished a video just not too long ago on Bill Deaver, and it is already linked on our website. Today, we uploaded the video of Ella Williford Garcia and myself discussing her dad, Jim Williford. And it will be available for viewing tonight. Now, it probably won't get posted on our website yet, but I have the URL if any of you are interested. I think it's a good video, Ella. I'm really happy with the way it came out.
I hope so.
One of the things that I was asked before the Armed Forces Day Parade, and I didn't know the answer, I was asked, how come it's called the William Ketchum Armed Forces Day Parade? Now, some of you may already know that. I did not. So after our conversation with Bill Deaver, I called him. And it's because of Bill Deaver that it is called the William Ketchum Armed Forces Day Parade. Bill was the field rep for Congressman Ketchum, and at the House, on the floor of the House of Representatives, Congressman Ketchum talked about this wonderful little town called Rosamond, who had this wonderful parade that honored our armed forces. And because he spoke on the floor of the House of Representatives, we are always going to be in the congressional record. And so that is why the parade is named after William Ketchum. And I thought that was really neat. So, I think that brings me to the end of what I need to say. Siobhan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. To introduce our speaker. And of course, we kind of were sad she wasn't here last time, but this really is very fitting, I think.
I was trying to get Gretchen's attention. I'm going to say, if we're talking and we're recording this, we're going to take down our masks so that John's getting a little bit better video quality and stuff. And I mentioned it last time, and I want to mention it again. We are so thankful that Gretchen and Mac have used COVID time so wisely. Everybody else has got the COVID-19, which is not a reference to the pandemic, but to the weight that we've gained and stuff. And Gretchen and Mac have taken on the Historical Society and interviews and have not only done it, but they have improved on every time that they've done it. The video quality, the audio quality has just become phenomenal. So if you need some rock and roll stars to come and help film your next production, these two I think are available. They're not, you know, so we just thank you both so much. And I was telling Tammy, this whole process started with Michelle Slade mentioning Tammy's involvement over a year ago. And so it has just, it has been put off and put off and put off in between the COVID virus, and then Tammy was sick last month. And so, like Gretchen said, it's kind of come to the perfect day, the perfect time, and we are so thankful. And without further ado, we're going to have Tammy Kelley come and talk about Wreaths Across America. If you did not bring a checkbook or cash or something like that, Tammy does have alternative plans. And while we're sucking your last nickel out of you, we also take Zelle payments for the $25 for the dinner. Those directions are, maybe we can have Janet resend those again on as a little brief thing to Historical Society folks. But you can also always call Gretchen or myself or Dolores, and we'll meet you somewhere and take your money too. So, alrighty, without further ado, here is Tammy.
Thank you so much. This has been a busy day for me. I started out my day going to the Veterans Memorial, the Veterans Day at the Mojave Airport with Kathy Hansen, did an awesome job. We heard from a veteran, Leon Ryder, which Michelle knows. He did an awesome talk about his what he did in Vietnam. It was quite interesting today. And of course now I'm here, so it is very fitting that we're talking about our veterans. Just a little about me and about Mojave. The first ceremony in Mojave was done in December of 2014. I found it, I don't remember how I found it. I think I found it through something and I realized, oh, that's Wreaths Across America, because I had been hearing things about Wreaths Across America. And so I decided to win it, and at that time the lady from Silver Air Patrol was in charge of it. And they didn't have enough, they had some wreaths there. I wasn't sure how they did it, but then they borrowed some plastic wreaths from the VFW out in Cal City. So we got those laid, and I just told her, and I came up to her, and I said, my name is Tammy, and I would love to help you out. And I did. And in 2015, I started helping her raise funds for the Civil Air Patrol. Because I guess I'm now 40 years living in Mojave. I'm an old timer now, so I know a lot of people, and of course working with the school district, I know a lot of people that are buried there, and family members are still there. So I started hitting up different people, and she thought I was just great. And then when it came time to get the wreaths going and the volunteerism, and I went to my boss at the time, Scott Small, over there in Mojave. Actually, he taught school here in Rosamond years ago, but I said, hey, I got this thing we can do. I'd kind of like to see what we can do with it. So I got some kids involved, and I got some of the kids involved, and we put the flags out and did the wreaths and pickup and all that stuff that's normally done. And then she kept going, your kids, and I'm thinking, where's your cadets? Why aren't they here? Well, you know, they live all over the place here. We just can't expect it. And I thought, oh, okay. So that following January, and after that, and I went to them, I said, hey, can we be a sponsorship group for Wreaths Across America and do this for the kids and raise our own funds for the school? Because at that time, you know, things were taken away that you can't have sewing machines on campus, and guess what? That was one of our biggest sales. Well, you can't do this on campus. So we did. He agreed upon it, and then I worked on it. I still worked under her from 2016 and 2017. I worked under her and got things going and raised some good money for the kids. And then she got ill with cancer again. And I had already decided that I needed to branch out on my own. I wanted to take the kids to the National Cemetery, which I got to do on a school bus, and we went 2017 up there. In the meantime, I'm rearranging it. I told her I was going to bow out the ceremonies, and then she said, well, I can't really do it anymore. I said, okay, let me figure this out. So I took probably 30 students up there to the Arvin, which is beautiful if anybody's been up there. So put everything together, and with 3 days, we had our own memorial, our own Veterans Wreath Day that following Monday right after school. And I tell you, it was perfect. I mean, it was cloudy, it was cold, but the pictures that came out with all the darkness and the light, and we did it so quick because, you know, it's Mojave, the wind's blowing. So we did it really quick. So I got my start there, and ever since then I've been really involved. Right now, as it stands, I am the location coordinator for Mojave Cemetery and Sponsorship Group. Due to COVID and due to restrictions at school, I decided to place it on me and not at the school level, because I wanted to keep the mission going, what we started, remember, honor, and teach. So here we are. We're almost, not quite, a little over a month. We'll be, November 18th will be a month away. So we're already on countdown mode. They're sending me a bunch of stuff for everything. At the moment, I have 259 wreaths at the cemetery covered. Not only that, but I'm $250 short right now. But I've got some people I'm working on. Michelle.
I brought my trash.
and stuff. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get close to it. But I'm working on the ceremony and getting things going. Yesterday, since we got back to school and those kids need their community service hours, I had 20 young kids putting flags, the very first time ever putting flags on the graves. And it was such a joy to watch. Wow. Well, you know, it took them a while, and then I told people at the Veterans Day, I said, if your loved ones miss, I apologize. It was the first time doing it. But they did an awesome job. They really did. I was really surprised, because you never know. So anyway, some of you might know that Wreaths Across America started in 1992 with Merle Hausweiser, and he had the wreath company, and he had all these extra wreaths, and he was always in awe with Arlington. And he went and contacted, he said, you know, I have all these extra wreaths, about 5,000, can I come lay it? Well, sure they did. Well, the iconic picture that's been floating around with the snow and the wreaths, that's what got it started. They're such a wonderful organization. There's too much to say what they do. But they started passing this out, and I'll kind of read. this has been kind of passing around for us to do, the cycle of a wreath sponsorship. So this is what happens when you sponsor a wreath. It all starts when someone learns about the Wreaths Across America and decides to sponsor a veteran's wreath. The veteran's wreath starts with a check, cash, or a QR card as they so kindly give me. And you can do it through online and everything else, and the factors in the processing. The wreath is now in the system showing the finance of what location it is. I am 3 to 2, so that means if you sponsor 2 wreaths at $30, I get an extra one for free. That's how I'm able to cover as much as I did this year. So it goes to there, and the cutoff date, my cutoff date is November 30th, it's Giving Tuesday. So I have to have all my stuff in by then. And then it gets closer to wreath day, and us coordinators are like, okay, when am I gonna get that phone call so I can know where to be at the cemetery? Well, Ashley's Furnitures comes over and delivers our wreath. Beautiful, beautiful, big, huge truck with a monument and everything on it. Beautiful truck. So it gets loaded up on that truck. I get a phone call saying, we're gonna be there at such and such time, like I did last year, and they arrived the day before the ceremony. So we helped unload it, and that was the day I had flags put up, so we did that. And I'd like you to know, the companies that they have, the big long hauls, most of them are volunteers. They're all veterans driving the trucks coming across over to here. So that makes it, nice. You thank a veteran, thank you for coming, and on they go. So when the wreath is delivered along with others, the locations are, as me, the location coordinator, I do set some aside. I do grade Pacifics at the site. So if you do have a loved one buried over there as a veteran, please thank me. I will make sure, if you can't make it to the ceremony, to have that loved one's wreath placed. Not all of us are get it. So we place the wreaths on that day, we honor, and then I have to clean it up. So my cleanup day is going to be December 30th. And then I always encourage anybody that does sponsor a wreath, wait till after Christmas and come by and pick up your loved one's wreath. They come all the way from Maine, and they smell so good. So that's recycle the wreath, and they're always honored. I don't care where we honor wreaths. If you have a loved one, if you want to use my ID number where they can get more, go for it. I've had people, in Washington, they have loved ones. They will go put one. Now, the national cemeteries don't always do Great Pacific because they're way too big. I know Bakersfield doesn't because they're so big. I looked at their site not too long ago. There's over 7,000 veterans buried up there now.
Already.
Over 7. And they only got 3,000 right now. I'm sure they'll probably get some pushings and stuff on it. But it's just been really passionate me to this program. I have a story to tell about my dad. If I get choked up, he was in the Army National Guard out there by Barstow, out that way. And he goes, I'm not a vet. I didn't serve in no Aurora. Didn't do that. I said, oh, Dad, but you served somewhere. You are a vet. No, I'm not. I didn't serve. Well, then I finally found out the story about it, because he was working for GE, the telephone company, and they said, hey, at that time Vietnam was going and or getting ready, and they were doing things, and they told him, hey, why don't you sign up to be the Army National Guard, and then after your years of service, you can get hired to do this, and then he eventually retired at Air Force Base when he finally retired after 40 years, I think it was, something like that, when he retired. But anyway, my dad passed away last year. So we didn't, we were going through paperwork, and I'll be damned, we found that DD-14 thing. And I said, see, Dad, I told you were a vet. You were a vet, even though you didn't, they served in some way.
Capacity.
So he was able to have, of course, COVID hit, we had to have the service outside, and they only think we got the flag. And then come to find out, my brother's wife, her brother served in the same area where my dad did the same exact thing my dad did. So I was like, wow. So that was really cool. But like I said, it's just, you know, I look at my family genealogy and I see all the history of service from, you know, people in my family that served, and it's like, oh, it's an honor. It's an honor to do all this, and my passion. It's given me something to do for. And as far as I know, I plan to do this until I can't do it anymore, because that's my passion. I just love it so much. I love the program that we're in. So a little bit more about Mojave Cemetery. I don't know if you guys realize, we have 2 veterans buried over there from the Spanish-American War that are over there. I was doing we do have it. I was like that. They did bury a young man from Boron. He was living in Texas when he got killed in a motorcycle accident. So he's the youngest vet from the Afghanistan War. He's buried. He died last year. Last year was his burial, so he was there. So, I mean, we have all ranges. Of course, a lot of Vietnam, a lot of World War II, World War I. My father-in-law was World War II. He's buried there. Michelle's got her brother buried there. By the way, I went by his grave yesterday. Oh, Michelle was there. I could tell. So, it's just an honor to do it. For that, and having Paul Hosier allowing me to do it, and especially allowing me to bring kids that don't know a whole lot about Mojave, because that town has got a rich history and everything over there. So I'm grateful for all that, to be there for him and be there and do that and teach those kids, because that's the motto for Wreaths Across America: remember, honor, and teach, especially teach our next generation. To teach those kids, hey, this is that's happening. And like Leon Ryder said today, he goes, war is not fun. And I pray, he goes, I hope my grandkids won't ever see that. But anyway, it's so much passion. But anyway, this year, I don't know the official count, I don't know, I'll get it more, but this year they've grown. Even through COVID, it's grown. They're surprised. There is now 2,700 location cemeteries now. And I'll get a wreath count. I mean, it's in the millions that will get wreaths being laid on that day. I mean, it's just mind-boggling that all these wreaths comes out of Maine, and they get that. A couple of years ago, before COVID hit, they got permission, and they laid wreaths over at Normandy one year. And then they went to Lindenburg and laid wreaths over there very first time ever. The government said, yeah, come on over, lay your wreaths. And they did. I don't know how, I'm sure they shipped them over through the airplanes and stuff, but they did. So, with that being said, I don't know if anybody has questions or anything. I do have some freebie stuff up here. It's just a wonderful, wonderful organization. I can't say enough. The things they do, they are on Facebook, if anybody has Facebook. And I am on Facebook too. You got to do is go to Mojave, Wreaths Across America, Mojave Cemetery, and join up, and I post what I do coming up and everything that, anybody wants to be involved for the ceremonies and stuff. Michelle was there last year, and we did a really short thing because we didn't know the COVID. And all of a sudden, here comes airplanes. Remember, nobody had their camera ready. The missing format airplane, here they come. And they flew right over us. Oh, I thought, oh, that's Kathy Hansen. She did it. To this day, I don't think she'll tell me, yeah, I did it, but we all kind of knew. But it was nobody had their cameras ready or their phones ready, but it was still good. But anyway, any questions or anything I can help you with, or loved ones?
Well, can you tell us a little bit about the things that you have?
Oh, okay. I have some things, and there's always free. I made this up because it's like a reminder, and it has a toy soldier on the back, and it says, please take this soldier home and place it where that you'll be reminded and pray for our men and women in our country. And of course I put a dog adopt a soldier in our day, so that's free for Andy Handy. I have Christmas balls I placed a wreath today. You can grab a few of those. And I have some pins. Anybody need pins? We all need pins. So I got a few of those things. Yeah, I know. This was a couple years ago thing. It's being American worth fighting for. Oh, I should say we're our theme this year. I don't have the right shirt on, but it's Live Their Legacy is this year's theme. And I don't know if anybody remembers the 4 chaplains. I guess it was from World War II. On the back of that shirt has the 4 chaplains on it. They're really big for honoring them as well. But I have some freebies. Oh, and of course, you're welcome to take that. If you see a vet, give them a card. You can put your name on there and say thank you for your service, and it has that. So that's about it I have and stuff like that. But it's just I don't know, wonderful organization I can do. And it gives Mojave something else to look forward to, something else to do. The kids think I'm crazy when I tell them that the community appreciates you coming out here and doing this. And they look at me kind of stupid looking, and I said, they do. So hopefully we'll get more kids involved. That's my goal. Thank you so much for having me. And if, like I said, I'll be up here to answer any questions or.
Tammy, if I understood correctly, didn't you also say that if someone wanted to order wreaths and they were going to visit Grandpa's cemetery somewhere else, that they could order and pick up from you?
Yes, they can.
And
yes, they can. Like you,
if you're traveling at Christmas time,
and if you have loved ones buried over in Lancaster, I know my dad's buried at Good Shepherd. So after my ceremony, my siblings and I are going to go out. My uncle's buried out, and my dad, I laid his wreath last year, and I'll be doing the same thing with him. It doesn't matter to me where a wreath goes as long as it honors somebody.
That's right.
So.
And if we purchase 2,
I get one.
You get 1. So
Great.
that one
Additional.
stays with the Mojave Cemetery no matter what. So if you're purchasing 2 and taking them to other cemeteries.
Yeah, you might have to come to the ceremony there. I don't, like I said, I don't know where the truck's coming, but I will always make sure who wants to play something else can pick them up. I've done that. I had this one one teacher from school, Mr. Lynn, he took, believe it or not, he ordered a wreath, he picked it up, and he took it all the way back to Kansas where his dad was buried at. So yeah, like I said, I always will honor. I will always honor whether I get 250, 500 wreaths, 10 or 1. There will always be an honor over there. Oh, another good idea. I forgot about this. This is a new thing they're doing. We have 7 San Memorial wreaths. Well, now we're going to have an 8th one. Can you guess which one it is? Space. The new space military thing. Space Force. Yes. We're having 8 now. In fact, I was watching my sister-in-law, my sister, father-in-law was honored in South Dakota back in the hills. And they actually said, it was the other one. It was another thing I was watching today with veterans. They actually had one of their alumni that graduated not too long ago in their school. He joined the Space Force Academy. He's already in it. We already got military people serving our country with the space. I was like, cool. So anyway, that's another new tidbit. But anyway, I'll stop talking so you guys can do whatever you need to do. Come visit. Money, donations, anything help, It's just a wonderful program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very, very much. And for taking the time to come down and talk to us. We have a little map that talks about the history of the area and some places in the area that you might like to go kind of explore. So thank you very much. This was really nice. Siobhan just reminded me to take off my mask. This was really nice. So I apologize. I've gotten so used to wearing my mask I forget that I have it on. Is there anything else that any of you want to ask, or, you know, I hope you all will come to our Christmas get-together at the greenhouse, and if you came in late, it's going to be December the 9th, and we do need your money by December the 2nd. And it's $25 because prices have gone up.
I just want to say thank you for the fabulous emails we get.
Well, that's Janet. We need to thank Janet.
Over it, but it keeps me going. It's wonderful. He's a paper guy. He likes his calendar, but it is really wonderful.
We are very, very, very fortunate to have Janet Winters as our secretary, newsletter, membership person. And I guess with no, if there are no more questions, then you come look at the things that are up here and just visit a little. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you hopefully on December the 9th.
Yeah.